So yesterday, they asked me, "Can I take your pulse?" Sure. I mean, it's part of what you do when you go to have a physical, which, because of COVID, I hadn't had for a long time. Well, I mean, couple of years. And then, and then the nurse did this thing. You know how it goes. Placing their fingers right there and getting a sense of the pulse. And right when the fingers touched, I thought, a human touch. And because of COVID, other than people in my family, touch hasn't really been a thing. You know, right then those fingers, that that point of contact. I was remembering a colleague of mine, Jonathan Lang, who was a pastor who in retirement started to run, along with his wife, a general store sort of down the road from where we live. And he commented one time on the shift, you know, from pastoring a church to running a general store. And the common thread, the commonality that he said he noticed, like, each day, was that there was something, a very passing sort of contact. Back when people primarily used cash, bills and coins, and you know, in placing coins into someone's hand, every once in a while, there'd be just a passing point of contact. You know, and he would talk about it as somehow related to incarnation. You know, God choosing to take on flesh and become like one of us. Now, especially since October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and especially since there's so much inappropriate touch that happens related to domestic violence, we have to recognize that. We heard from the co-director of our local shelter about all of the increase, the spikes in domestic violence since COVID. You know, at the beginning of COVID, there weren't that many calls, not because domestic violence wasn't occurring or violence against children or childhood or adult sexual abuse, but because since everyone was stuck under the same roof, people couldn't get away to make a call. All of the tragedies of unwanted touch that we hear about from so many, too many. And the sense of touch that somehow gives us this little window in to incarnation. God, the Spirit, the life, the light in this stuff, flesh. There's a story in the second chapter of Genesis where before there's any life, before even rain has fallen on the land, God takes dust and shapes it into the form of Adam, man, humanity. And with a blowing of a breath, that dirt that's been shaped comes to life. There are all these other stories in our scriptures, the Hebrew scriptures, the Christian scriptures, that point to touch, where there's a man who's blind and Jesus takes him by the hand. And I couldn't help but wonder, in the story of being taken by the hand, was there something about that touch? He touched me in a way to lead me, and then put spit and mud on his eyes, and he could see. I mean, if you go to chiropractors or massage therapists, there's something healing about touch, some spirit or energy that moves, and some connection when it's wanted that can change our life. So I'll invite us here to just spend a moment with our own touch. It's maybe similar to or different from someone else's wanted touch. But just spend a minute, feeling the contact of touch. How does it remind us of being alive, of being connected within ourselves? And maybe we remember touch with other people. Or maybe you continue to have it with certain people. If it's wanted touch, how does it strengthen us or inspire us? And if the recollection is unwanted touch, how can we heal? How can we find the courage needed to speak against it and to find safety, to rely on others whom we can trust? Touch. Blessings on your day.